Welcome to my channel. In this channel, I share some of the battlefields and military museums I have visited in the past. Hopefully you will find it useful for planning your trips if you have similar interests. If you find this content useful or entertaining, please like and subscribe to get alerted when I publish more of such videos. In this video, I will give you a tour of the Battle of Waterloo Museum near Waterloo in Belgium. The museum is a 30 minutes bus ride from the Waterloo train station, but if you alight at the Braine-l'Allier station it is a 15 minutes bus ride or 40 minutes walk. We will start the tour by first visiting the Butte de Leon, which is that elevated position you see. We want to first have a view of the battlefield that was presented to Arthur Wellesley, the Duke of Wellington, during the battle. As you complete your climb up the mound you will see this. The lions symbolize the Prince of Orange, William II of the Netherlands, who fought besides the Duke of Wellington in the battle. He was wounded on the shoulder during the battle. The mound was built in honor of him. This is the view of the battlefield. In the battle this mound did not exist. It was created after the battle. As you can see, the land is very flat. However, there was a ridge line where the museum and the mound is now that the Allied forces, including the British troops, were deployed to protect them from French artillery. This is the Panorama, which is housed in the round building you saw earlier. In the past, as there were no movies or 3D experience, there would be painters who would paint a panorama of important places or events like this battle and charge people for the privilege of having the immersive experience. This panorama is part of the museum, just like the mound. Here's an interesting fact. The Gettysburg National Military Park Museum also has a panorama of that battle, and it is called the Cyclorama. Another thing you will see at the Panorama building is a very wide-angled photo of one of the reenactments of the Battle of Waterloo. You can tell it is a reenactment as you can see a grandstand for the audience towards the end of the photo. This looks like it was quite a big event with many reenactors involved. When you enter the museum proper, you will see a series of moving paintings. These are paintings with some animation added to it to provide some novelty. The paintings provide the background to the Battle of Waterloo. This one is of the Battle of Fleurus, which was fought in 1794 and where the French army defeated the Allied forces and led to the dissolution of the Dutch Republic. This painting is of the Battle of Marengo, fought in 1800 between Napoleon's French army and the Austrians in Piedmont, Italy. This victory by the French sealed the success of Napoleon's Italian campaign of 1800. His position as first consul was also strengthened by the successful outcome of the battle and the preceding campaign. This painting depicts Napoleon's ill-fated retreat from Moscow during winter. You can almost feel how cold it must have been just staring at it. If you're a fan of uniforms, military equipment and firearms, you will be in for a treat. The museum has a hall full of them. In the past, different regiments had vastly different uniforms for a very practical reason, so that commanders at the rear are able to spot which unit is at a particular area on the battlefield. You may have also noticed that generals wore different uniforms. That is for the same reason, visibility. Here are the British uniforms. They are usually in red, hence the term redcoats. However, do you notice the ones in green? Those are of the rifles. These are the best shots in the British Army and are used to skirmish the enemy, hence they wore green to make them harder to spot by the enemy. Now we come to the firearms and saber displays. The sabers were usually used by the cavalry and officers would carry them for close quarter fighting. These are situations where it was too cumbersome to reload the firearm, hence the need for bladed weapons. These look like French officers in a meeting. These are the uniforms of Napoleon's Grand Army. They were not only made up of French regiments but also Polish, Dutch, Italian and Spanish ones. That explains the sheer diversity of uniforms and headgear. Here we have a model depicting a member of Napoleon's Imperial Guard, his most trusted troops. It was when the Imperial Guard had been defeated during the battle and were retreating that Napoleon knew he had lost and ran away. Next is a 3D movie of the battle. You can almost feel like the troops are marching towards you. You also get to feel the heat of the battle as the orders are made by the generals. Lastly, we have a series of paintings of the key parties involved. First we have Napoleon and his generals. Then the Duke of Wellington, Arthur Wellesley and his. Next we have General Blücher of the Prussians. Here we have a painting of the dinner in honor of the Duke of Wellington's victory. As you exit the museum, you will see a scaled model of the battlefield with all the key features of the battle represented. We have come to the end of the video. I'll leave you with several images of the museum. If you like watching such videos, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell to be alerted of new content. Thank you.